It is, what is it? I knew it this morning and now it's slipped my mind. It's Thursday afternoon. It's about almost 1:10, not quite 1:10. And I'm trying to do it without looking at my computer for a hint. February 8th, 2024. I know it's 2024. I also know it's Thursday. Everything else is subject to a guess, I guess. Um, and it's been a good day so far. I hope everyone else is having a good day as well. I was up at my usual time. Lately, it's been a little bit before 3 o'clock in the morning. It's been maybe 2:50, 2:55-ish, somewhere around there. I'd like to say because I would like to say because full of energy and raring to go. Can't wait to start my day. But the honest answer, 2 more months, I'm going to be 59. I had to go to the bathroom. Um, that is a reality with everyone of a certain age. It's not so bad. You take steps if you want to sleep through the night or through the majority of the night. Curtail your liquid intake. At least give yourself 2 hours before you go to bed. Um, Definitely helps. Little things, and this is regardless of age, regardless of gender, um, that we want to work on our sleep hygiene. We want to be able to maximize the time that we're actually asleep. So we always talk about the importance of getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, and that is important. However, even if you set aside that time, chances are you're not going to sleep through the night. It's not going to be a deep sleep because we actually partake in habits that interrupt our natural sleep cycle. For one, we go to bed way later than we should, with our minds still full of all the day's activities that are going on. We don't decompress from the day, not properly so. And we keep on our electronic devices on for way too long than we should. Part of sleep hygiene, shut things down. Shut things down. Give yourself an opportunity to de-stress from the day. And again, simply put, most of us don't do that. Another simple thing, as I said, regardless of age, just curtail the water or any kind of liquid. Start about 2 hours or so before bed, even longer. Now, make sure you drink enough liquid through the day. You want to stay properly hydrated. And the first thing when you get up, drink some water. That is one of the very first things I do. Even before I meditate, I have a glass of warm-ish water. Warm water is better for your digestive system. First thing in the morning. Our friend Odom is here saying, hey, Odom, how are you? Really enjoying the shorts that you're putting out. You're putting in the work, getting in the reps. Great job, my friend. I'm talking about sleep hygiene, just ways of maximizing our sleep potential. Some of the things that we do, some of the things that we don't do, some of the things that we do that we shouldn't do. The importance of sleep, it can't be overstated, and more people talk about it. It seems to me that the first thing on my mind when I get up in the morning is all the things I need to do to help me get to sleep later in the night. I went through a very dark period where anxiety, panic attacks, breathing issues kept me awake all through the night. And I would literally go days with little more than just nodding off. Fortunately, having an extensive meditation practice helped me get some deep rest, but not enough to compensate for what was lost. It was only when I took my sleep seriously that I began to seriously sleep again. I reset my sleep clock. Odom says he's having blood pressure problems. Sorry to hear. Do you like beets? Beets are wonderful for blood pressure. From eating beets, the best way to eat beets, by the way, is baked or broiled and not from the can, as most people traditionally eat it. You could try beet juice, or there's actually beet supplements, and they work extremely well. There are beet chews or even pills, and they work extremely well in lowering the blood pressure, as well as meditation and some breath work. And breath work is one of the things that I was going to talk a little bit about today. It's another thing that really helped me reset my sleep schedule, deepening my practice, my breathing practice, getting up early. And I've always gotten up early, but getting up even earlier has helped. What I want to do is get up early enough, and I get outside and I walk. I get my meditation in, I get breath work in, I do some yoga. Again, I'm up before 3 in the morning. I have my 1 cup of coffee. Another important thing, no caffeine after 12 in the afternoon, even cutting it off beforehand. Really don't need more than 1 cup of coffee a day, and that's for health benefits and flavor. I enjoy my coffee. I don't need a cup of coffee, which is a big change because I used to drink coffee all through the day. Odom says your channel is growing. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's another thing. I mentioned that when I began to take my sleep seriously, my sleep got serious. I slept better. When I began growing my channel more seriously, which means that I go, I drop my link when I'm able to, like with the Jay Jordan. He would always say, drop your link. And I always, one, I didn't know what it meant at first. And two, I was like, well, I'm just here visiting. I want to say hi to a friend. No need to drop my chat. It makes a difference. As well as like James Gipes. Not sure if I'm saying that right. He has a great channel, and all he does is help you grow your channel. He'll drop your channel link, and you get to interact with other people who are dropping their link, and you get to make these connections. I generally grow several subscribers each and every day, every time I drop in and do something like that. I was fortunate to find someone who wanted to help my channel grow, and he's done a tremendous job. So I can't take any credit. It's not the content. It's the same content I had when I was talking to 12 people. Doing the shorts, which was a suggestion from our friend Destiny, has made a huge difference as well, because not everyone wants to watch an upper middle-aged, half-naked, bald guy doing burpees in his basement and then talking about yoga afterwards. You would think there'd be a large audience for that. You think people would flock to come watch. But sadly, a limited potential. So, doing the shorts of just reading from my blog, which is all I've ever wanted to do anyway, was talk about yoga, read from my blog, which is all about nature, all about yoga, meditation, breath work, and some fitness stuff. It's the entirety of my channel. It seriously is just a yogi doing burpees in his basement. If I could have fit the whole title of just a yogi doing burpees in his basement and talking about stuff, talking about meditation, that would have been the title, but it would have been it's already long enough. It might be the longest and most unwieldy YouTube title that I know of, at least. And I know several other people have mentioned that it's not the easiest title to have. But It does seem to capture people's attention as well. It's perfectly describes what I'm doing. So I appreciate you noticing. I'm still working on getting the views. That seems to be the sticking point for a lot of people to get monetized. You got to get something that goes viral and takes you there. And I don't know if I'm a viral type of person. I don't know if I've had a couple of the shorts take off, get a couple thousand views, but um, I don't know if my stuff is that stuff that goes viral. And it's not like I do anything, you know, shocking that's going to catch anyone's attention. So the importance of getting up early. It's not just to get things done, although I absolutely love the fact that by 6 a.m., everything that is vital to me, everything that is extremely important to my life, to my spiritual, emotional, psychological, physical well being is done. Let's say 7 if I throw in my burpees. Um, I've meditated for my first time. I've gotten in my first yoga. As mentioned before, I've switched my morning yoga practice to doing the 5 Tibetans, where before I was doing a sun salutation based yogic routine, which I absolutely love, but issues with my back, I needed to do something different. The 5 Tibetans, which is a more dynamic approach to yoga, has helped quite a bit, actually. In a short period of time, it has done wonders for my back, as I thought it would, which is the reason I reintroduced it. Um, and then I've taken care of my writing for the day, which is the top priority. Years and years and years ago, almost 25 years ago, reading Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art, which obviously is a play on the art of war, but it's all about our creative potential and how it's generally wasted because we don't do the things that we're drawn to do. Everyone has a book in them. Everyone would like to paint. Everyone would love to start a YouTube channel or play music, knit, whatever their creative urge happens to be, and it's all good. But how many people actually sit down and do it? They wait until they're retired. They wait until the weekend, and then the weekend they're too tired from the week to actually sit and do it. All kinds of excuses. And you know what? They're all valid. Everyone has a valid excuse, except they keep us from doing the things that feed the soul. We never get around to doing it, and the soul starves. The soul of an artist starves with inaction. So Stephen Pressfield said, to be a writer, write. Simple instructions. It's the same with anything. If you want to meditate, sit, meditate. If you want to be a yogi, practice yoga. Note I said practice versus do, because yoga truly is a practice. It's a life practice. It's how we live life. And when I read that, I realized that I kept waiting for inspiration. I would write for days at a time or weeks at a time, and then I'd go for months not writing anything, saying, well, I'm not inspired. I can't write unless I'm inspired. And then you get into that depressive artist phase, which is just ridiculous. You don't need to wait for inspiration. You court inspiration. You show up every day and you sit where you're going to write and you ask, inspiration. This is where I am. Show up right here. Your toast. Yo, what's up? Hey, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. So if I wanted to be a writer, I only had to do one thing. I didn't have to arrange things perfectly. I didn't have to have the right computer, right keyboards. I didn't have to have a theme. I didn't have to have anything. I just had to write. And everything changed. I wrote every single day. I've written every single day, 25 years. I've done 24-hour races. I've done 100-mile races. And I found time to write even then. I would get my phone at an aid station and I would write whatever idea I had in my head. My mantra was words on a page or words on a screen. It didn't have to be good. It didn't have to have meaning to anyone else but me. It had to be words on a page. It could be as few as actually made sense, as long as it appeared to be actual writing. Amazingly enough, everything expanded from there. I'm never stuck with something to write about. Look out the window. The world is filled with things to write about. Pick up a book. Just leaf through it really fast. Stop. Look. What word's leaping out at you? Take that one word and write something from it. I write mainly lyrical prose based upon yoga and meditation and breath work and science and nature. All of it's interrelated to me. It's interrelated, period. Not to me. It simply is. So how could I ever be stuck for something to write about? There's always something. There's always a bird singing outside my window. There is always a breeze rustling branches. There is always science happening. There's always particles dancing my form into existence. Particles dancing into atoms and atoms dancing into molecules, molecules forming cells. There you go. Everything you need. And it's the same with anything. If you want to paint, set up a canvas. A lot of people get intimidated by that blank page or the blank canvas. And emptiness is just potentiality. Let's see. Lewis says he is, first let me say hi. Good morning, Lewis. How are you? I know it's morning out there. And he is growing. Tell me how you did it, Eric. You two must hate me. I mentioned it to Odom. Not through content. Not because I'm putting out any great stuff. Little things, like I said, I found someone who really wanted to help me, and he has. And then doing, like dropping my link on the Jay Jordan Chris Fitness, James Guype. Every time I participate with James Guype, I end up getting sometimes 20, sometimes more. People are just subscribing. Now, are they active subscribers? Some are, some aren't. But they count and they add up to something. And then there's a few that participate. Your toast says you look like Linus Tech Tips. I have no idea who that is. I'm going to guess and say that he is a bald, really good looking guy in glasses. But you know what? We all look alike. Let's see. Odom says he's back, was on call. But I was talking about, the reason I was talking about all the writing stuff is because I began to take growing my channel seriously. I waited. I put out content, and you know what? People would trickle in, mainly from the burpee community. I got up to a couple hundred. I thought that was pretty good. But then I got the urge to be creative, to get the stuff that I write on my blog, share it with more people. That's why I'm doing the shorts. Um, to talk more about breath work, to talk more about yoga, to talk more about writing, nature, all the stuff that I love. And again, I started participating on those sites. I started reaching out to people. Um, I was fortunate again to meet someone who um, helped me quite a bit. Basically, just sharing me, sharing my stuff out there. Um, I actually don't know everything he did. Um, and that's been a big help. And a lot of it's luck. I've been very fortunate. But there's definitely more deserving people than me. I'd put you up there, Lewis. I'd say that you're actually, and Odom. I think all of you guys, um, all of you guys, I think are more deserving of a successful channel than I am by far, because you're putting out some quality stuff. Lewis is inspiring people. Um, Odom, to me, Odom has one of the most beautiful channels out there. He's just he's working with the earth. He's growing stuff, and then he's showing you how to do it. He's giving you tips how to do it. Even if you don't grow, like I don't have a garden. I grew up, um, my family gardening, big, huge gardens, um, and I worked on a farm as a kid, as a teenager. So I absolutely love it. But I don't have a garden now. But I still love visiting Odom's channel and watching those tips and watching someone who is really inspired and loves what they do. Odom says I used to go to his channel a lot, but none would stick. Yeah, I think it's an odd. You're playing the odds. You get enough, some stick and some don't. I would look. My channel would be, just to pick a number, 670 after working, on some of these channels, and I'd be like, great, I'm growing. And then the next morning, when I brought my page up, I'd be down to 490. And I'd be like, what? But overall, it kept growing and growing. Lewis says maybe burpees is too much for a lot. Um, I think the burpees is definitely a select audience, but you have a positive message, and you're working with people. You're not just throwing your reps out and saying, "Look at me." You're throwing your reps out and saying, "Look at me," and this is how you guys can do it too. Um, to me, I think that's pretty big. Odom says, Lewis says, or maybe too random on my channel. I think you're pretty on point, actually. And again, you got the perfect soundtrack. There's a handful of people that I would go and watch just for the soundtrack alone, and you are definitely one of them for sure. Odom says that he thinks that he'll do early live today, or live early today. Not doing a Get It Off Your Chest Thursday tonight. Hopefully, it'll be early enough, and I'll try to catch it. Doing the lives have helped a lot as well. Doing the lives and just talking. A lot of people who came here just for the express purpose of trolling me for whatever reason. Why? It's not like I have this, even now, it's not like I have a huge channel. They end up subscribing, and they end up being, people that I communicate with. Our friend Destiny Forever Walks, PhD, is here. How are you, Destiny? And everyone's getting a high all the way around. Um, Destiny has been a big help growing my channel. I would say that probably, for one, she inspired me to do the shorts, which have been pretty big. Once I started doing the shorts, more and more people started to subscribe, amazingly. And then she introduced me to James. And she also urged me to drop my name and to not just go to the live sessions, but engage with people more. Um, so all of that has been a huge help. And again, the most important thing is I decided to take it seriously. I pursued it as a project. I asked people for help, and they've helped me. Destiny says that she is doing great. Odom says, it is what it is. I'm with you. YouTube doesn't push me like they used to. I don't think I get pushed at all. Um, you know, I don't even think YouTube knows that I exist, to be honest. Um, but again, I had um, just a few people who really helped me a lot, quite a bit. Um, and that's been big. What I'm hoping for is momentum. When you just reach that crest, you reach that point where the algorithm gods take over and everything gets carried by its own gravity. Um, everything just explodes from its own momentum. We'll see if that happens. I would like to. I still have quite a bit to go to get monetized as far as viewers, and um, even then, you know, who knows if enough people are going to continue watching or to grow and keep watching that it's going to make any money whatsoever. Um, I think I probably have a very select audience, but I keep trying, and I'm going to keep adding. Eventually, if I ever figure out how to use my new cam corner, I'll do some nature videos. Um, I should do some shorter non-live talks like Destiny does, where I talk about sleep hygiene and I talk about like a yogic diet, which isn't necessarily vegan. It is vegetarian, plant-based. Um, talk about meditation, talk about breath work. I feel like I have a lot to share. And you know what? I can't complain about YouTube. They give a wonderful platform to make it what you can. So it's up to me. I either succeed or fail on my own merit, by my own effort. No small amount of luck, that's for sure. It only takes one person to click out of curiosity before everything explodes. One person. It's that 100th monkey, if you remember the story of the island in Japan that was covered by volcanic ash. And these monkeys lived on a particular form of sweet potatoes. All of the sweet potatoes were covered in um, the volcanic ash, where they couldn't eat them. Finally, the monkeys on that island started to wash potatoes in streams. They just caught on. When it hit this critical mass to a certain point, all the monkeys on that island, even without being in contact with one another, started to wash those potatoes. And then amazingly enough, monkeys on other islands that weren't even affected by the volcano and had absolutely no contact with the original monkeys to begin with, started washing their potatoes because of that critical mass was hit and everything changed. It's just like there was two people working on Charles Darwin and I forget the other, working on the theory of evolution at the same time. There's a morphogenic field, I believe biologist Rupert Sheldrake calls it. In yogic terms, it's the Akashic record, that intelligent connection between all of us. When it hits, when it sparks, everything changes for us. So we keep doing what we do until we hit, until we connect in that Akashic record. And destiny, fate, dharma, an even better word. Our dharma takes over. We got to work it though. I know everyone's putting in the work. I know Lewis and Destiny. I know everyone's putting in the work. So have faith. Destiny says, it is what it is. I watched one of your videos today where you were doing burpees, 5 pumps. This is why he got the nickname, the title, I should say. Not a nickname, a title, Mr. 5 Pump. You slay and there's no touching you. No better form in the entire burpee community. Some are just as good, but no one's better. Odom says, I don't gain from the stream. Been doing the live stream over a year. All my fam was gained on my video. So we need to push some stuff, push some ideas out, how we can all help ourselves. Because I think we all can. I think every single one of us can be successful at the stuff that we want to be successful. I have no doubt about it whatsoever. And I think we can all help each other. I don't know how right now, but I think if we think about it, we're going to get some ideas and we are going to hit that critical mass and we're going to help each other do it. I don't have, again, I started taking everything seriously and I started working to get more subscribers. But they're not just for me. If I can share other people, and I always try to share, I wish I could share shorts, and maybe you can. I don't know how, because I would have loved to share the short of you singing, Odom, and I would love to share some of the shorts of Destiny dancing on the treadmill, at least on my YouTube page. I've shared them on Twitter. But yeah, the entire reason I have however many subscribers I have right now, it's to help people. The number one priority, be of service. And if somebody were to say, how do you get to be successful? Not that I'm super successful, particularly on YouTube. The only method I know is to help other people, is to be of service. Do what we can. That's the goal. That's the plan. So if I can push other people's channels to get where they deserve to be, and I honestly know that everyone here deserves that successful channel, I will do everything that I can. Destiny says, Eric, you got too much to share. The information that you are sharing on your channel is just in time of the awakening of the people. People are waking up for the truth. You got that truth, Eric. Thank you, Destiny. I appreciate hearing that. And I hope, I hope I can be part of that. I hope I can be part of that movement of everyone. You know what would be enough for me? If there was a movement of everyone just being a little kinder to each other. And if I could be part of that movement, that would be enough. I would consider myself successful if I was part of the movement and everyone was just a little bit kinder. Disney says, thanks for the shout out my videos. It's actually my pleasure, 100%, because you're presenting valuable information, but even more so, you're inspiring a lot of people just to be joyful. That's no small thing. In a world that is in a joy deficit, um, all the way around, then somebody who can help spread even a little bit of joy, in my opinion, is doing God's work. And honestly, Destiny and Odom, again, in my opinion, doing God's work. Odom is showing people how to grow stuff. I've mentioned this before. What Destiny says, Eric, you are the movement. In the Talmud, which is um, one of the early sections of the Old Testament. Sorry, um, there is a saying. Let's look it up real quick here to make sure that I get it right. I'm going to give you my quick version, and then I'll look it up to make sure that I'm getting it right. And I mentioned this before, so it's familiar, and you guys probably heard it before. Above every blade of grass is an angel whispering, grow. So, Odom, think about that. If above every blade of grass there's an angel whispering, grow, and that you yourself are helping beautiful things to grow, how many angels do you think are whispering in your ear to grow, to expand? There's no accident that you started a YouTube channel, that you were inspired to do this. Every inspiration to do something big like that, even if it doesn't seem big, but every inspiration to share what you love, even if it's just to one person, that's doing God's work. In spirit, inspiration. None of that's an accident whatsoever. So things might be going slow. You still have a pretty big audience. And it's going to get there. So let me make sure I got that right. The actual quote. Every blade of grass has its angel that bends over it and whispers, grow, grow. If one blade of grass, every blade of grass has its angel that bends over it and whispers, grow, grow. That one blade of grass. Think of how inconsequential we think of a blade of grass. And then imagine how many angels are whispering in Odom's ear, whispering in Destiny's ear. There's a reason why she started dancing on a treadmill. Because there was an angel, there was inspiration, there was that voice of the universe whispering, dance, dance. We can deny it only for so long, and eventually we have to dance, or we have to plant something, or we have to put our fingers in the earth and help something grow. Odom says, I'm still on the fence about YouTube. You know, whatever you decide with YouTube, you got your homestead and you're growing things. And as you've said before, that's your passion. You're already living the dream. Now you just want to share it, which is a noble thing to do. Stay on purpose, which is to grow things. And then what happens, happens. I think about that with my writing, that YouTube is a vehicle for me to share my writing, but it's not the writing itself. My job is to show up every morning and write. My job is to show up every morning and practice yoga, and then I talk about it. If there's an audience, the audience is going to find me. I can only do what I can do. I'm saying all of this because I need to remember it. Because, I get caught up in that I got to get out there and find an audience. I got to get out there and do this and do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But I have to remember that my purpose, my dharma, is to write and to share. If I'm going to be, if I'm going to gain an audience, they'll find me. If there's a way of growing that audience, it will be revealed. It'll come to me. So far it has. So Odom says, I think sharing, maybe talking too much. I don't know, Odom. I can only speak from my own personal experience. I enjoy hearing you talk. I enjoy hearing you explain why you're doing something. More than any of that, though, I enjoy hearing how much you love what you're doing. To me, that's the most important thing of all, is hearing that, because it's inspiring. You don't often get to see someone doing the things that they love. Look around and see how many people are trudging through life, uninspired, but wishing they could be. Telling themselves, once I retire, once the weekend comes, once summer vacation hits, once whatever, and then they're just too exhausted to do what they love. Or they don't even know what they love yet, or it's hidden, or they lost it. I used to love playing the piano. I used to love doing this or doing that. And then they never pick it up again. They used to. But that's the thing about love. There's no such thing as used to in love. There's either love or there's not. And of course, in Miracles, they say, the saying is, only love is real. Anything that's not love is an illusion. So are we going to play with illusions, or are we going to stay grounded in the reality of love? That's our choice. Odom says, I'll keep sharing video, just maybe stop doing live streams. See how it goes. Take it moment by moment. If you need a break from live stream, and then if you get inspired to do it again, you might feel that inspiration. Now's the time to do a live stream, and it might pop. It might end up being the best live stream you've ever done. I think we get that feel. We get the feel of, this is what I should do. We just got to listen to our intuition. So, all right, guys, we're coming up on the 45-minute mark, and it turned out to be a great conversation. I'm glad you guys asked about growing my channel, and because that gives us a chance to bat some ideas around that we can all, again, we can all try to benefit each other in the best that we can. So, all right, guys, with that, Odom, I'm going to try to, if you still go live tonight, I'm going to, if I'm still up, I'm in bed pretty early. I will look for it, though. I will look for it before I go to bed. Destiny says, you better believe it, that is the reason I'm dancing on the treadmill. It was not my plan. I saw my son almost mutilated on 25 years ago. That incident, I'm sorry to hear that. That incident, a voice called to me a year ago to do it. That's how it happens. There's always a voice. There's always that angel bending over us, whispering, dance, write, share, grow, put your fingers in the earth. Do these things that bring you joy, because through that alone, you're going to bring joy to other people. Odom says, I got monetized fast doing live streams. I got a lot of people in my streams. I get you guys, and then I get a few people who come here to um, not to be disruptive, but not to not for any other purpose but to troll, I guess. Um, so yeah, my live streams have not been huge, but you know what? I have a lot of fun doing the live streams. I feel that every once in a while I hit this certain stride of inspiration where the words just come, and I have a stream of conscious Jack Kerouac on the road type of moment, um, where everything's just flowing. And then others where I'm stumbling and I can't think of the next word to say. But I love those moments when everything just happens like that. So I keep showing up live and I keep waiting and seeing and sharing. Destiny says, thanks, Eric, Odom, and Lewis. Have an awesome day. You too. Um, Odom says, next week my wife is going to go live with me. Hey, that would be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to say hi to your wife. I have asked Milka to come live with me sometime. She has no interest whatsoever, but I'll keep trying. Odom says, have a blessed day, everyone. You as well. I will see everyone tomorrow. Do some burpees. Odom, I hope you keep putting out some workout stuff as well. Great job getting the reps in. And I'll see everyone later. Take care.